Yeah, I'm not as efficient and official of a podcaster as you, I think. I think you know how to do it pretty well. You got questions.
Can you imagine if this just fell out?
What, the steak?
Yeah,
It floats.
it's called a oar.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. It has been a while. I am rusty.
Look at that.
But yeah, it's an oar.
Background action. Oh, am I going the wrong way, so I wouldn't go that way?
You can do whatever you want, dude.
This is like oral sex where you just got to like figure it out, like what's going to work, you know? Like, should I put it in here and move it a little bit? Sorry.
Is that how oral sex works?
I think you just try things.
But do you create a dialogue? Do you do like, hey, do you like this? Do you want some of that?
I think you got to.
Help me out.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to like, maybe bring somebody else in so you can do a little like, because it's hard because in a heterosexual relationship, you got two different parts.
Right.
So you can't really, you could try on a banana, you could get a papaya, do some
Wait,
sort of...
you're trying out bananas and stuff?
No, I'm saying for the other oral side of the things.
Right.
But, what kind of fruit would you use for a
vagina?
Yeah. Kiwi?
A kiwi could be nice. The thing is you're going to have to do some sculpting to get it to the correct, format, if you will.
Yeah.
Howdy. I don't have the right hat to be saying howdy. This is more of a cheerio, you know?
Yeah, is Cheerio a British thing? Because I think that hat makes me think British.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
British?
I think
Scarves.
So.
It's a very...
Yeah, I definitely had a theme with this.
It's nice. You dress yourself nicely.
Thank you, man.
Do you dress yourself? Who are you wearing today?
This is... I don't really know, to be honest with you. This is flannel. It's just a basic seasonal thing, you know? Can we talk about how Texas just turned into winter overnight?
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We're not used to that. We're from California.
Yeah, man.
And seasons are like a gradual thing. And they're more defined. You don't really get this big like hiccups.
Yeah.
Like Texas doesn't, flips on a dime. I don't know if you noticed when you moved here, like the weathermen, whoever doing the Apple iPhone weatherman, they call in sick a lot or something. They just don't.
Yeah.
You can't trust it as much. You could trust it in California much more. If you saw the rain emoji, you're like, it's gonna rain today.
Yeah.
Here,
they really lean on those percentages. They're like, maybe 30% chance, but what does that even mean?
right,
You could just say it. And they're like, turned out that 30% was 100%.
right. Yeah, shouldn't we have different predictions too? Like, why is there one weatherman? Shouldn't we have a bunch of analysts up there, get up there and debate and be like, nah, dude, I'm, and then and bet money on it, Like, you like to bet on fights and stuff. Why aren't we betting on the weather?
And they should have their records about how often they were wrong. Like 30% chance of rain, but he's been wrong 99% of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I call bullshit.
You can't trust it. Just like the polls, like, remember, I think it was like before Trump, the polls were always right. And then Trump was the first time when all the poll experts were saying it was going to be Hillary.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah.
And since then, it's been willy-nilly.
And they lost their minds,
Right.
So do we have a destination, or is this just a...
Yeah, but I think I want to keep it a surprise. I don't...
You kind of scare me when you say stuff like that. Like, there's been a lot of... Like, you haven't held a lot of eye contact with me today. So it makes me wonder, like, oh, this is the time, right? He doesn't want to look me in the eye. Like, when you're going to put your dog down and you're just like, you don't want to be like, ugh. Or you're dropping a kid off at the orphanage. You, like, don't want to be like, you just don't want the eye contact. You kind of want to be already closed up. And that's what it kind of feels like, is like, I don't know where this ends.
But that would be assuming that I had cared for you at all, like,
Yeah.
or that I had some sort of regret in what I'm doing. But I think if I was a real psychopath, I'd want to look you in the eye and see the fear and get those last precious moments before I kill you.
Yeah, see, that's like, this feels kind of like a predator and prey. Like, my fight or flight has been tingling all morning. Like when you forgot the SD card, something inside me told me to run.
I got back pretty quick, right? Were you impressed, or?
You actually were very fast. I was a little worried how fast you got back, that you'd never even... Like, I feel like you really didn't go look for SD cards. You were, like, trying to figure out if you were going to really go through with murdering me,
I went back for the gun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
You
have a
saw
gun?
how easily I lifted the canoe, and you're like, I can't. It's going to be a struggle. So we should have just, like, finished this guy off. But yes, I have multiple guns.
That's so sick.
Not on me right now. I wish I did, just to be sure, you know?
Yeah. I guess you live in a house out in Kyle.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has a gun out there in Kyle. If you have a house.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to give out, coordinates, but, like, I am surrounded by, like just protection, like people I know, and I'm just like, this is so nice to just know that if a gang war broke out, like if they came to my door and I was just like, hoo-hoo in the neighborhood, like squad, beef on sight kind of stuff,
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
But it's funny because, like, people who are further from the cities are more likely to have guns, it seems.
Yeah.
But the people who live in the city are probably the people that would need it more, right?
Exactly.
Like, what's the worst thing that could happen to you out in Kyle, Texas? Are people breaking in out there?
I had a porcupine come across my yard the other day.
Really?
I could have caught them pricks straight to the neck. That's the biggest danger I've seen.
Yeah.
A couple feral cats, but yeah, there's no homeless people lurking around.
Right. I mean, you'd be insane to break into somebody's house in Texas. I think about that. Like, I feel kind of safe just by thinking, like, no one would. I mean, it keeps me from breaking into other people's houses.
Yeah.
Like, not that I would do it or something, but you have those thoughts sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes, you think about, like, I don't know, grabbing a cop's gun or, like.
Nico.
I would never do those things, but you think about it when it comes across, or like
Those intrusive thoughts?
Walking your dog and you see in someone's house, you're like, I could probably break in there, like
Yeah.
go in, steal that.
That's like that's what's crazy is how different men and women are. Is in our DNA, our lizard brains, it's in us to like conquer, and like it's just in history, like that's what men would do. Is you would go to some random island and it'd be like a new tribe or something like that, and like if they greeted you with like necklaces and blankets, they're like, oh, welcome strangers, and you got swords, you're just like, oh, this shit's gonna be so easy.
Yeah.
Like this is ours now.
It's fucked up. We all come from a bloodline of savages. To get to this point, to make it to 2022, your ancestors had to be ruthless.
Yeah.
They had to be assholes.
Yeah.
So we all got a little bit of that in us.
Yeah. That's why, like, if things always weird me out. Like, I was at Worst Fest the other night. Have you ever been there? You know what that is?
Worst Fest?
It's the worst festival, ironically, because all it is.
Bratwurst?
It's a German festival in New Braunfels.
Oh, I think I heard of this.
Yeah, and I've been so excited to go, and I went, and like it was just terrible. There was way too many people. Everybody was drunk, and like when I get in those big crowds, it feels like riots break out. Like I don't know if you've ever been like in a weird crowd where like fights started breaking out, but it's very alarming. Like because it's chaos and there's no control. So like whenever I get in those big crowds, I always think about how like society, if like things fell, people are going to get real crazy, and like people aren't going to be all kumbaya,
Right.
It's going to be like chaos at first, and then it will settle, and then things might, fix itself. But
yeah, I think I used to be kind of naive to all that, like, wars breaking out and people and all that kind of stuff. I think it wasn't until like COVID times, and then along the lines of like, I guess that coincided with like the Black Lives Matter protests and all that stuff, where I was thinking like, oh yeah, like, shit could happen.
shit can happen.
Shit could happen.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's like, where I grew up. I grew up in Palmdale, the Antelope Valley. Shout out to the hood. But like my house growing up got broken into like 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Damn.
Like gang initiations would happen where they would break into our house and they would spray paint all the walls and like just rip clothing and like the beds and like everything like that. So like
Steal your TV.
No, they would just break everything. Because what was crazy is they thought, like these gangs that would go around, they thought that if they didn't steal anything, it would be a different kind of offense. Like they were like, it's not a felony if you don't steal anything, but it was because they're doing damage over like 5,000 or 10,000.
Right.
But so they would leave a lot of stuff, but they would smash things.
Oh, this was just initiation. It was like to show that you're hard as fuck.
Yeah, and gangs would do it, and they would just like break into people's houses and smash things, like put their signs on the wall and everything.
What kind of gangs did you have? Bloods and Crips out there?
No, there was a few Hispanic gangs. There was Bloods, but it was like satellite gangs of other gangs in LA, you know, that would come up to Antelope Valley because it was just the Antelope Valley.
Yeah, it was like the minor leagues.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the farm team, and sometimes I'd send someone up. But like seeing that from a young age, I like didn't have that veil of thinking that, oh, everything's all kumbaya, and you know.
Yeah, you knew shit could get real.
Yeah, so like and that's the thing is when you experience that, you kind of just prepare for it. But you just want everything to be peaceful. Like I don't like fighting at all. I don't like I hate confrontation.
Yeah.
But like it's a real thing. But like I try to avoid it at all costs. Like I don't have an ego where I want to like challenge people or anything like that or seem tough. It's just like that shit can happen, you know?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people who like because they don't have to deal with certain things, it's like easy for them to say like no one should have guns and no one should like, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't deal with it. Like, I probably felt like that when I was younger, and I don't have any guns now, but I understand it more. And like, as you grow up, you can, I don't know, some people like you, I mean, were you a little kid and your house got broken into?
Yeah, it happened like every age group. We should have moved. Like, what were they doing?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that must have messed you up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but it also, like, my dad's from Brooklyn, and so my dad was born in a house with dirt floors in Puerto Rico. And so his dad had a crazy life of, like, he was born in the mountains of Puerto Rico, dirt floor. So they moved to Brooklyn when he was like 4 or 5 years old, but he had 16 brothers and sisters. And this was at the time when it was like statistically were more likely to survive in Vietnam than Brooklyn. So it was like insane.
Really?
So I kind of just always grew up like glamorizing violence in a sense of like my uncles and everything were just like, they grew up crazy. Like the craziest stories you can think of was my uncles in New York. And, so it didn't really seem like such a crazy thing until I got older. And then like once you become an adult, you start like reflecting. You're like, oh yeah, that was kind of crazy that like my childhood mantra was like always like, if someone's like starts talking shit to you, you just got to hit them first and like everything. Like these like crazy like things like you can do whatever you want as long as you don't get caught.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, so like
it's all perspective.
Yeah.
So for your dad, he's like, dude, you only got your house broken into 4 times. Like, come on, this is easy stuff.
Yeah, they used to swim out on, ironically, like a lake. Like they live near the Hudson River. Okay. And they would swim out to the big like oil riggers. Like they had these huge like ships. Yeah. They would climb on these boats, steal boxes, throw them over the side. He was like 9 years old, and they would swim them in the shore. They would open up these boxes and find like guns and stuff, and like boxes full of guns, and then they would go sell them to the mobsters. So like that was his childhood. So it's like, how do you not kind of like some of that does pass on, but it's like your vision of like what things are is so skewed, you know? Yeah. Like that's such a crazy life. And it's kind of like tied into what you're saying about previous generations, the stuff they had to do to survive. Yeah. It's nuts, man.
Yeah. And there's people who are still living crazy ass lives, you know? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I guess crime is getting harder to do in some ways. Yeah. Certain crimes.
Like technology and cameras.
Yeah. But also like, I don't know, it depends where you live and stuff. Yeah. Because like some people, it seems like even if they see you doing a crime, it's like, don't. Yeah.
What a peaceful day. We're just talking about crime and everything, you know?
I know, this is great out here. But you never got recruited or anything?
No, like that's the thing is like my dad's like he wasn't like it wasn't like a life of crime. It was just growing up and surviving. But like when I lived in Puerto Rico, actually, my neighbor was involved in some nefarious stuff, and they tried recruiting me because I look white. So they tried getting me to drive drugs from the airport out. They're like,
their little gringo poppy.
yeah, exactly. And they were like, you can get away with it because you're light skinned. They're not going to question you. And it was at the time I was going to school in Puerto Rico, and I literally, the guys, they approached me so weird. Is I showed up and there was like a nice car parked in our spot, and my neighbor called me over, and this guy was like, "You see my car?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got 2 more just like that." And then he's like, "I got motorcycles, you like my clothes, my shoes?" And I'm like, "Sure, they're nice." And then he's like, "All this could be yours." And then I was like, "Okay." And then he was like, "All you got to do is you just drive this car. You drive into this, it was a storage unit, and you drive out. That's it, man. You make a lot of money." And then I realized what it was, and I was like, "I'm sorry, man. I respect you guys, no problems. But I'm just going to school right now."
Yeah.
And then literally,
Were you tempted at all?
of course, there's a little bit in the back of your brain that's like, how much money could you make? Like, it'd
Yeah.
be a lot of money. And that summer, so I ended up leaving like a month later to go home for summer.
Uh-huh.
And over 500 employees at the airport, including military and police officers, got arrested for doing like moving drugs through the airport there.
Damn.
So I probably would have been wrapped up.
Right. Unless yeah. What do you think your move would have been? You put it up your butthole or something, or what would you have done?
Yeah, what is the move there? I mean, it was a lot. Like, if I'm driving into a storage unit and filling up a car with stuff, it's going to be a lot of stuff to put up your asshole.
Yeah.
You know? Can I curse on this?
Yeah, you can curse.
It's going to be a lot of stuff to put up your asshole.
Yeah.
And that,
And you can't fit that much? Or you can't? Or, like, what's your...
I think if you put on a David Goggins motivational video,
Yeah.
I could probably get some more than I thought up there. Because I'd be like,
yeah.
who's going to carry the boats? Like, trying to get as much up in.
Right. Maybe like a grapefruit? Or, like... Is that
If you cut it up. If you just, like, that's the thing is you got to be smart. You can't just be like, I'm going to put this... It's like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I'll take a whole slice of... I'll take a whole grapefruit if you slice it up. And not too big of slices.
Yeah.
What about you? What's the biggest fruit you can put up your asshole?
Well, once you said the elephant thing, now I'm thinking elephant.
Whoa, you think you get an elephant? First
One
off,
bite at a time.
on our on the dogs, you talked about being able to beat up a giraffe, but now you're saying you could eat an elephant? Where is this all coming from? What's your beef with African animals?
I don't know, dude.
No?
When I was a kid, I used to want a giraffe as a pet. Like, that was like my goal to like people like, look at like, oh, I want that car, I want this mansion. Like my vision board was a giraffe. Like, I'll know I made it when I have a pet giraffe.
Whoa. You could still do it.
Yeah, I could do it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the lifestyle that they wanna. Like, even having a dog right now, I'm like, my dog's living like a human. It should be out doing dog stuff. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't know if dogs want to at some point, depending on the breed. What kind of dog is it?
English pointer.
Okay, those are pretty active dogs. Why'd you get an English pointer?
Well, we don't. I mean, it's probably mixed with a bunch of stuff, but the
Okay.
vet said probably English pointer mostly.
That's
But,
like a mid-sized dog, yeah?
We rescue because we're really good people.
Aw.
Yeah, I vote. I'm.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
Don't rescue?
Now that I've gone to dog parks and stuff and I see a bunch of dogs every day. I have experience. You realize there's patterns with breeds.
Mm.
Not to be racist towards different kinds of dogs, but there
Mhm.
are patterns. And golden retrievers are the best.
Yeah.
Just get a golden retriever. I never
Yeah.
have problems with the golden retriever.
Yeah. I have a rescue dog, and
Oh, you messed up.
I
Your dog's great. I mean, you got lucky,
and my dog's sweet.
but you trained it well too.
But it's also they do have their own problems. They found her in a trash can,
Ooh.
and she was really.
That's what they always say.
I
They
know
don't-
that
yeah.
they pull on the
Every dog
heartstrings.
came from a trash can or a sewer pipe. Like, where are these getting these dogs
I'm
all
a
in
sucker.
trash cans?
I fell for it.
You are a sucker, yeah.
But she doesn't. So she got taken from her litter too young.
What kind of dog?
It's a German Shepherd, Labrador.
German Shepherds can be dicey sometimes.
Yeah,
But
but there's also a pit bull in her. Like, she's just a mix. She's the Captain Planet of dog breeds.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
she's a little bit of everything. If you stare at her long enough, you'll see every breed.
that's cool.
But it's actually from the majority of what she is from Africa. Don't try to fight my dog. I know you're beef with African animals.
Yeah.
But I forget the name all the time.
Hippopotamus?
Nah, I wish, dude. You know what's a crazy fact I just learned? That hippopotamuses have killed like 10 times more people.
Hippopotami.
Hippopotami. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
You make that up, or is that real? They have killed like 10 times more people than serial killers ever have.
Really?
How many documentaries about hippopotamus eyes have you seen out there? They're not getting the respect they deserve as killers. And then we're giving fucking Jeffrey Dahmer how many documentaries? It's not like they're changing the story.
Right.
It's the same thing. And fucking women just gobble it up. This Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. I'm over it.
Yeah, I think the problem is like Jeffrey Dahmer. There's other people that kind of look like him who can act as him, but there's not many actors who could play a hippopotamus believably. I mean, can you think of any?
See, that's the thing where you start getting into these issues is why can't we just have a hippo play a hippo?
Right.
Hippo,
but then is it even acting?
I like to see the real thing, to be honest with you. We just need to start setting cameras near the rivers. And you know what's crazy about the fact that they've killed 10 times more? Yeah. How many hippos have you ever even been around? You ever touched one?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I saw one at a zoo when I was a kid.
Exactly.
Maybe.
You saw one in prison. Do you even know what they smell like?
Shit.
I mean, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or fish. Fishy shit.
Maybe like a fishy elephant.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be good.
Yeah, nah, you don't. You're not going to smell a hippopotamus and go in for seconds.
Right.
What if you found out that was your kink, though? You, like, smell a hippo, and then it's like, bazoinga.
Scratch and sniff.
Yeah, you're just into it.
If I found out that was my kink, I'd probably just kill myself.
Really?
I mean, that doesn't work in society. It's too out there of a thing to be into.
I appreciate your commitment to being like, I need to do what's better for society. A lot of people don't take that approach. They're just like, nah, I'm going to just hang out at the zoo all day.
Well, it's just like if I was weird enough, like the only fun of being a person is if you can relate to other people, right?
True.
If you feel like such an outcast, and now this is kind of getting weird, but I feel like the less I relate to people, the less I want to be around them.
Yeah.
So I maybe I'd go off into Africa and I'd just hang out with hippos, and eventually one would eat me. It'd be like the grizzly man.
What if you're hippo kin?
Hippo kid?
Dude, don't laugh at it. The furries they're pretty serious.
Yeah.
The kinfolk, the other kin.
Yeah. I don't know, man. What's your kink?
I don't know if I have anything that's out of the ordinary
That you would share?
I mean, if it was weird and it was harmless, I would share it.
Would you, though?
I think so. If it was weird and I was like, I like Cheez-Its put between my toes, I'd share it on the podcast.
I mean, but that's kind of funny.
Exactly.
Like, they can't even almost take it serious. What if your kink was getting shit on your chest?
See, that's...
Would you share that? Probably not. You'd be embarrassed.
I think I would be too busy being somewhere trying to figure out why that happened. Like, why? How did I get to this point? You know? I'd be in a lab somewhere trying to deconstruct my past.
Do you think all those things come from, like, childhood and stuff like that? Isn't that kind of weird?
Either in some direct way or indirect way, either metaphorically, you like to be treated like shit because you were treated like shit when you were a kid. So it's like, you know.
Isn't it weird how it can go both ways? Like, you were treated this way, so you're really against being treated like that, or you're really into it? Like, how does that happen?
It's a spectrum, you know?
Yeah.
Because then there's all along that spectrum of people who are kind of into being treated like shit, like just enough. But it's like, yeah, it is weird which way you decide to go with it. You're like, I either want this all the time.
Right.
But you want to experience everything. That's what I always think is interesting with, like, dominatrix. When you hear about these, like, super successful people who like to be humiliated and, like, tied up and beaten and spit on. Like, it's interesting. Like, there's, like, I've listened to podcasts with some of these dominatrix who they work with, like, billionaires of these CEOs of these companies, and it's all like they don't say anything who they are, but they're like, I'll go into this room, he'll be tied up in a diaper, and I can just spit on him, kick him, humiliate him. I'll take his credit card out, start buying stuff. I'll take his wife's number and be like, I'm going to call her right now and ruin your life. And he's like, no, don't do it. And it's like crazy. Like, and then he's just like, have a good day. I'll see you next Friday. You know, like that shit happens. That shit happens. And then he just goes back to running fucking
I shouldn't be laughing.
Pampers.
I shouldn't be king
You
shaming.
should.
I should.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I mean, it's sad. It's funny. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything.
But shout out to that guy for owning it. Be like, you know what? Like he took it to the point. Like
Is he owning it? I mean, he's doing it, but it's behind. I mean, he was just crying because she was about to call his wife. I don't think he's really owning it.
But he liked it.
And I would think. Do you see the fish?
I should have brought my fishing pole next time.
Yeah. What can we catch in here? Do you think?
I would assume that there's
A boot.
definitely some boots, some catfish, maybe a little liberals. There's got to be some liberals that threw guns out here. You could probably find some guns. Like a liberal just bought a gun just to get rid of it. Like the people who buy goldfish and release them to the ocean. Like, this is to set you free.
Yeah.
This is lovely, though. Thank you for inviting me out.
Yeah. You're welcome. You owe me. Big time. No, you don't owe me. You've done so much for me. I mean...
What a crazy thing.
We'll get into that. I wanted to say about dominatrix. Don't you think maybe
we'll get into dominatrix?
What?
Are you into dominatrix?
I mean, I've never really been dominated sexually. So, okay. But I could see, I could see myself maybe liking to be like not too, like I don't want, I mean, I can see myself getting off on the like buying stuff or like.
That just stressed me out.
Yeah, I don't know if I need. I mean, maybe ease into it. Like you get pinched and then you start getting spanked and then before you know you're choked out and you punched in the fucking face.
And then instead of buying stuff, they're just putting stuff in the Amazon cart.
Yeah.
Like don't hit one click checkout. Like just put it in there. Make me think like, oh, she's gonna use my card.
I'm not rich enough to be able to play around with that as like a fun little thing. Like tee. Yeah. Yeah, like that would piss me off.
Yeah.
But I think dominatrix wise, I may be at the stage of like maybe give me a purple nurple or something or I don't know. Maybe
have you had a limit where a girl tried to test you and you're like, you had to put up the stop sign?
No. I mean, where would they even start? Slap your ass a little?
Or just like grab you by the hair and be like, you fucking like that and spit in your mouth? No?
No, I never had that experience. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have to try it.
Yeah.
Have you been in with any of those situations?
Stuff like that, like grabbing hair and like grabbing throat. I don't like my throat grabbed. Like, I'm not really into that. But like, I've never had anybody spit in my mouth, and I'm not into that. It's like the hygienic side of it. I'm not really into it. I don't know what that is, you know?
I mean, I don't think I would like that either, but I think maybe in like the context of like it being unexpected or like somebody, like I think that's part of it too. It's like such a foreign thing. You're like, whoa, this person's like I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah. And
like usually this person's nice and sweet, and now they're in a state where they're like being super mean, and it's like whoa.
Yeah.
You know, it's like seeing someone naked.
Yeah.
But like you're just showing things that you normally don't. So it's like cool. And especially for these rich people who everyone's, sucking their dick metaphorically all day.
Yeah.
They, maybe they just, it's like that's cool.
I think that's exactly what it is you do go through life, and maybe if you reach that point of success. And, I'm a deep thinker. I try to be. And, life is about the journey, not so much the destination. And I think you hit a point with success, especially in like finance sense, where you like life isn't real anymore. You're not in the struggle. You kind of inherently need that struggle. So I think to feel alive, they want to just experience. It's like assimilation. They're like, I want to be something like out of my comfort zone.
It's like an ice bath, or it's like a heavy workout.
And I think that's why it's so important to like work out and do ice baths and like challenge yourself and like, because they go around and they don't experience that,
And if you don't do that, you're going to have your fucking pants down in a hotel room getting spit on.
Exactly.
So which would you rather?
That's what I wonder is, like, some of these dominatrix, like, did they need to go so far as to, like, experience that, or did they just need to do an ice bath?
Yeah. And I
They should
wonder,
have listened to Joe Rogan.
is there an end to it? Like, is that unhealthy? Is there anything wrong with experimenting with that? And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I always wonder, I mean, I never done any of this, like BDSM or any of this kind of stuff, but is participating in it either way, is that okay?
Participating it as, like, doing it?
Yeah. Is it just like feeding like something that's wrong with you that's just making it worse?
Oh, like it's gonna lead, like, it get worse over time?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like the whole thing with porn and everything is, like, you gotta cleanse your palate every now and then and get away from it, because then your browser history, your search history, it's just gonna get too many adjectives, and that's when it starts getting weird,
Right, you keep up in the game.
When you start typing in like 6 or 7 words in the search query, that's when you're like, I gotta take a week or 2 off.
Yeah.
How do you deal with porn?
How do I deal with it?
Yeah. Do you have it under wraps? Do you ever catch yourself, you're like, I need to take a break?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to really watch it as much as I can, like, and I don't know how much of my thoughts on porn are like society's, because, like, it feels bad in a sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a true feeling or if I was taught that in a sense.
That it's bad?
Yeah. Like shame about it.
Yeah. I look at it as, like, the just from the downsides of it, that it can give you I think there's good and bad things.
Yeah.
Because it can stop you from doing things with people. You get a clear mind. You watch some porn and you're like, let me just cleanse my palate, clean my system.
Yeah.
I'll start thinking right.
Right.
Those 20 seconds after you bust a nut, you're like Gandhi. You'll have the clearest thoughts you've ever had.
Yeah.
So I think it's good in that sense.
But I don't think you need it. I think you, like, there's plenty of... Dude, there was a year where I didn't watch any porn at all.
Really?
Or jerk off.
What year was this?
This was 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, I went over a year. It was like...
And
how
was
many
life?
months was it? Probably like 14 months.
Were you in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
But long distance.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, I don't know how much... I mean, I thought... Like, it was fine. Like, life just becomes normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I think you get used to whatever... Like, if you get into a routine where you're jerking off every day, twice a day, 3 times, like, it just becomes your body gets on a clock too. Like, I can remember being in high school, like, you jerk off right before bed, and then it's like, if you do that for like 2 weeks in a row, then it comes to that time and your body's just like, all right, time to go to bed.
Go.
Let's do,
Go ahead and smoke that smoke wagon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't need to. I mean,
Am I going too far down the river?
Nah.
Okay.
Take me wherever you want.
I'm just trying to keep us out in the public land so you can't murder me.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple ducks over there. Do people commentate when they're on this podcast?
Sure. Tell them what we're seeing.
We're seeing actually a couple of wood ducks. If you look over here to the right, that is a male wood duck and a female wood duck. I know way too much about birds. You'll come to find out about me. We have a flock of cormorants flying up behind us right now.
Because you hunt birds, or because you...
I just used to be obsessed with birds.
Did you have some?
Yeah, I grew up with pet pigeons.
Oh,
I was very into pigeons. It was something that I adopted from my dad's side of the family. In Brooklyn, they always had pigeons on the rooftops.
You got a very pigeon guy outfit on.
Bro, listen, when I play like Call of Duty or any kind of video games, my name is always the Puerto Rican pigeon. I'm just a man of the pigeons.
Were you the guy who goes out and puts food all over his body and lets the pigeon eat it off of him?
I would do that with seagulls at the beach, and I would catch seagulls like that. Like I'd put a towel over me and I'd throw popcorn on my body and I'd lay there like this and
Yeah.
I just wait and I just fucking snatch a goal up.
Will they bite?
Yeah, they'll bite.
Fuckers.
Yeah, man. I would snap their neck.
That's cool. You got a video of that?
I wish, man. This was before technology.
Whoa. Remember when technology was invented?
Yeah,
What was that like?
I was there. Benjamin Franklin, dude.
Yeah.
Was he the one that did electricity?
Benjamin Franklin. Yeah, he did the key on the kite, and lightning made electricity.
Yeah,
So-
nice little flock of cormorants flying over us.
Yeah.
There's some swallows right there. They like to dip in during the evening.
So did you race the pigeons, or did you do carrier males or anything like that?
Great question. So I mainly was just a collector. I would fly them. Had a bunch of different kinds. I had
Just different kinds?
Yeah. So buddy, I could put you on game. There's all kinds of pigeons. There's roller pigeons.
I
There's
mean, pigeons are the worst bird, though, like objectively.
Bro,
right?
Listen, I'll blow your mind with some of these cool pigeons they got out there. There's giant pigeons. There's Chinese owls. There's suicide rollers. You have tumblers.
Chinese owl is a pigeon?
Yeah, it's a kind of pigeon. It looks pretty cool. There's giant pigeons. There's king pigeons.
Puerto Rican pigeons?
White tips, Puerto Rican pigeons. Strawberry flights. Flight pigeons are really cool.
That'd be cool if you had a pigeon shirt. This is merch for you for the future.
I've been
Are you
trying
at
to
merch yet?
No, but I've been trying to work in pigeons. Like I have some designs that I want to start putting out, and it's stuff that I just want to wear. Like I want to make a camo design sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Where it's all camo, but if you look closely, it's all pigeons.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of do. But go ahead with your merch idea.
Do you know, like, sometimes you'll see like a wildlife shirt that has like different kinds of birds.
Oh yeah.
So, but it will be all like pigeons, and it'll have like 9 pictures of like different pigeons.
Yeah.
And then, but one of them is the Puerto Rican pigeon, and it's got a little picture of you. But they're all like kind of like painted type
Yeah.
style.
What about it's pigeons, and then it's a big moon, and then it's me on a rock howling, like those wolf howling shirts.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like that. But
Yeah,
my
that-
mouth is kind of a beak.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a Star Wars type poster where it's like other pigeon heads, but then you're the big
Yeah,
one
I
with pigeons
love
behind
that.
you.
I
It's
love
very
that.
epic.
Yeah, man. Pigeons are
Yeah.
honestly a big part of my life emotionally.
Is that true?
Yeah, my pet growing up was like I had a cage full of pigeons, and I would fly them every day. So I was homeschooled. So I didn't go to school when I was a kid. I just stayed home.
Oh yeah.
And most days I was just in the backyard taking care of my pigeons. I had names for them all. It wasn't like
How many did you have?
at the most I probably had like 90 pigeons at one time in the coop. And they would lay eggs, and I'd sometimes during the winter they would lay an egg, and I would have to raise the pigeon as my own. I would bring it inside, have a lamp and a box, and I'd feed it with the dropper. Had this one pigeon named Chucky. Chucky got eaten by the neighborhood cat. It was a tame pigeon. It was just a very tame pigeon, raised it since it was a little wee lad. And
Break your heart.
yeah, my grandpa, because he had pigeons too, he came over and he was like, you got to take it outside and let it kind of, do pigeon stuff outside. And I was like, okay. So we took it outside, but then we forgot about it. And when I remember, I went, oh shit, Chucky. I went out there, and this neighborhood black cat, it doesn't matter that it was black. It's just, just a carrot, just more painting with more colors for the listener.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah. It had eaten Chucky's fucking head off.
Oh.
And I literally was just like, Chucky! And I never raised another baby pigeon after that.
Amy, you just gave up?
It just was I couldn't handle the heartbreak again,
How old were you?
I was probably about 13 at that time.
Did you cry?
I think so.
And
Yeah.
so, did you just let all the pigeons go one day?
No, I
or-
kept them for a long time after that. I couldn't let myself get that close again. So there was no more of like bringing them inside when they were born and everything. I had to separate myself.
So, but what do you do with them? Like, do you put them on a string and let them fly around, or?
That's barbaric. You would let them out, and they would know to fly back to the coop at night.
Because that's where they eat?
Yeah. So like you have to, it's a crazy world. You have to, like, for example, if I get a new box of pigeons, and this is this is a story about my grandpa gave me this pigeon one time. You get a box of pigeons, you got to keep them in the coop for at least a week, because if not, you let them out, they haven't like set that to be their home point. They'll still just kind of fly and be wild. But
they need to like calibrate.
Yeah, because some pigeons, all pigeons have that homing in them, but the homing pigeons, like the ones that they would use for like notes and everything, they could hold on to it so much better. So that's why they were bred to be that good of a pigeon. That like if you kept a homing pigeon, you usually had to keep them for like 3 weeks in the coop, or else they would just fly back to where they came from. Whoa. So my grandpa lived in Arcadia, Monrovia. You know where that's at? Yeah. Pasadena. And he gave me this homing pigeon, and he tells me, he goes, listen, keep it in the cage 3 or 4 weeks before you fly them. Because normally what you do is you just go out there, you just open the coop, you let them fly around, they do like tricks, they roll, and it's just fun. And I always love doing it. And I kept looking at this pigeon. It was a blue bar homing pigeon. And I kept being like, man, I want to fly this little motherfucker. And so
let's see what he could do.
I just wanted to see.
Do you teach him tricks, or he just starts rolling and just does his own
so he
thing?
Wouldn't roll, but I had rollers, and they would just be like, but then they fly in a pattern. And it's just, I don't know, I was just brainwashed to enjoy it.
They just know what to do.
Yeah. So they would
That's wild,
yeah. So then I really wanted to fly it. So then I let it out after 2 weeks mark. And I go, it's going to be fine 2 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks is just, that's just what they say. And I let out the pigeons, and this pigeon, all the other pigeons start flying up this way. This pigeon just goes towards Pasadena. And I go, oh shit. Like I just lost the pigeon. My grandpa calls me in like 4 days. And he goes, hey, Evan, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, Grandpa, good. He says, yeah. He's in small talk. And then he goes, hey, how's that homing pigeon doing? And I go, oh, that thing, it's doing great. I love it. Thank you again, blah, blah, blah. He says, that's crazy. He says, so I was out back today, and I had a homing pigeon show up with the same exact band that I gave you. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And then I was like, I'm so sorry. I let it out. But it flew all the way back after 2 weeks. From Quartz Hill, the Inlet Valley, to Pasadena.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, they're fascinating creatures. And it was like, when I got like 15, 16 years old, you can cut me off whenever we're done with the pigeon content.
Okay. So, moving on from that.
All right, fuck my pigeons.
I was kidding.
When I turned like 15 or 16, I got into crashing kits.
Yeah.
So when your pigeons are called a kit.
Okay.
I would see other people flying their pigeons in the neighborhood. And what I would do is I had 2 different kits. I had a crashing kit, whereas pigeons I didn't necessarily care about as much. And what happens is when you start flying 2 kits at the same time, they get confused and crash into each other. And they get some of your pigeons and you get some of theirs because they're all confused. So they just go with your group. So I would give up some pigeons I didn't really want. Maybe I caught them or something. They were like wild pigeons. Just to get a few of theirs. And then I would clip their band and put my band on it. So I would steal other people's pigeons. And I'm not proud of that, but I just think you should know everything about me.
Would people steal yours too?
Yeah, it happened.
Dang.
But anyway, how are you, Nico? That segment took way too much time. If you want to cut the entire thing,
I'm not done with the pigeon talk.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What I was going to say is, at first when you said you had pigeons, I was like, kind of weird. I wasn't too into it, but you actually convinced me. Now I kind of want them. Because I always thought you were holding them captive and like they hated their lives, but it sounds like they choose to come back.
Every night. They have the opportunity to leave. It almost sounds like I'm a pimp because I'm like, they can leave anytime, baby. But it's like, they just know where the food's at.
Yeah. Well, what about wild pigeons? They just eat trash?
Yeah, they don't, and that's the thing is like I would feed the pigeons. They always had clean water. They always had good food that I'd buy from the feed store.
Would they ever fight and stuff?
Yeah.
Fuck each other up?
Yeah.
That's tough.
And that's what's crazy about birds is when one of them would get sick or get wounded, they all would just attack it.
Damn.
It's weird, Says a lot about society.
Whoa. Why would they do that, do you think?
I don't know. They saw weakness.
Because they fly as a pack, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, you're going to fuck up our flight patterns.
Yeah. Fucking Brad.
Kill you.
You're fucking done, Brad.
Would they kill their own son? Their own kids?
Yeah, there was a couple times where like a baby would die and then they would start like pecking at it to eat it.
Jeez.
And I'd be like, you monsters. You know?
Eat your own kid? Oh my God.
I mean, people have done it throughout history.
I guess.
Yeah.
Can
I ask you a question about the podcast?
Yeah, one.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, yeah,
Had
you can
about
ask
30.
me whatever, dude. This is a conversation. It's not even like, we're just hanging out. We're just recording a moment.
What made you want to do this on a canoe?
I was doing a podcast before. I just wanted to be in podcasting. I wanted to work on a podcast. So I was like, yeah, nobody wants me to work on their podcast. I guess I got to start my own.
Really?
Then I was just recording audio because that's how I consume podcasts. I don't care about the visual element.
Right.
People are like, you should film it. I was like, okay, maybe I will film it, especially coming out here with doing comedy and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, you could post on Instagram clips and stuff. I was doing it outdoors during the pandemic, and I actually liked that ambiance. I was like, oh, this is kind of different.
Yeah.
Doing it outdoors, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Sorry.
You can like hang out for longer and not be like.
Yeah.
You can have more silences and stuff like that, and it not feel as awkward or forced.
Yeah.
And then just moving out here, I guess my girlfriend and I came out on the river and rented a canoe once, and I was like, I think we had a picnic on here, and I was like, this would be good for a podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
but
a
I
great
don't really
format.
remember the full thought of realizing that I should do it.
It is the best format because it does make it more conversational, and you kind of just like, I don't know, you relax in the topics, and it does feel much more conversational and natural than a podcast.
I don't know if it's because I've done it so much out here, but it's easier for me to forget that I'm recording a podcast.
Yeah.
Because there's like so much more going on.
Yeah.
But I still do. I mean, there's pros and cons. Like sometimes there's a bunch of boats out here and stuff, and it's hard to stay on track, and it's like windy, and I'm paddling and stuff, and I'm like, this would be better in a studio where you can really.
Yeah.
You get off topic too, and you don't circle back and stuff, but.
Yeah.
Plane going over us right now. There was a train earlier. It's not the best audio quality.
It's nice because if you have an outdoor podcast on a canoe, you're guaranteeing that you're going to be out on the lake like once a week, twice a week,
right,
or twice a month, and be like, you're scheduling in something that's really good for your mental health.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, I felt that because I took a break from this. Yeah, I missed coming out here.
Yeah.
It was so cool when I would come out every week.
Yeah.
So now hopefully I'll be back in the groove.
So you're doing one episode a week?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I haven't been consistent enough,
Yeah.
but there was a time when I was doing one, and now I'm doing the captain's dogs once a week, but I think I could handle both doing.
Shout out to the captain's dogs.
Thank you. Where you were a guest. That was a lot of fun.
That was a fun episode.
And it was fun being on your podcast.
Yeah.
7 Minutes in Evan.
Amen, brother.
How'd you come up with did that evolve over time? I was looking back at your YouTube today. You have like 450 videos or something like that.
Something like
total.
That. Yeah.
And before
I've been cracking for a while,
12 years or something?
Yeah. We've been at it for a minute.
And
just
how
with
old
content.
are you off the record?
I'm 34.
34.
It could be on the record. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever lie about your age?
No.
Are you proud of your age?
Yeah, age is just a number, baby. You know?
Yeah.
That's what old people say. I sound like a 70-year-old fucking aerobics girl. Who's just like, nah, baby, I just do that. Yo, we got a college coming towards us right now. We need to get over.
Oh, really?
Those fucking...
Crew?
Yeah, crew.
I mean, the worst sport ever, right? Just rowing. I mean, it's nice to be outdoors, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's kind of repetitive. I mean, you don't even get to see where you're going. You're just doing that same motion.
Yeah.
But you've been doing your podcast for how many years?
So I started maybe 4 or 5 months before the pandemic started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I haven't had the podcast crazy long. I was
Right.
doing...
You were doing
yeah.
vlogs and stuff.
Yeah, doing vlogs and music and everything like that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I was going to say when you were talking about your dad, I was watching you and your dad doing that duet. That was
Really?
super cool.
Thanks,
the
man.
Bill Withers song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too. Hello. Oh,
Nope.
I come to America, and they don't like that, dude. They have had so many people.
You just got dissed, dude.
I know,
I'm glad the cameras didn't see that.
dude. How rude! You got a foreigner like me out here saying hello,
Yeah.
and you give me nothing.
I know. That part's hard.
Hey, I got it, dude. It's like 27 I knows.
Right. Yeah, I noticed when I was watching that.
You're like,
I was
I
like,
gotta go.
That's hard.
This ain't good for viewership retention.
Did your dad a singer?
Did what?
Is he a singer?
He can sing, so he's like one of the best
He
singers.
has a nice voice.
Very good. And that's
You
not
as
even
well.
like. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I can only sing like a couple songs, that like
Right.
my voice works for.
Yeah, he can sing every song.
Yeah, and
He's a lot better than you.
way better.
I'm
And
just kidding.
he doesn't even try. Like he thinks singing is one of those things that like everybody can do, and I'm like, that's not. Like,
Well, I could tell he has like a nice natural voice, and it's like as a male singer, I don't know. I'm just kind of realizing this right now. I think as a man singer, like your voice can get better as you're older. Like there's something nice about like a deep, like
Yeah.
older voice, where it's like women. Maybe I guess that's true too. Maybe.
I know what you're saying though. Yeah, you can kind of get that grizzled like Johnny Cash thing going.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that could be the case for men and women.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely don't have to be. I mean, there's a lot of songs where your voice is not super good who's singing, but it just sounds good still.
It's funny because in college I took this singing class.
Not you. I didn't mean to say you right there. I just meant
That's why I
songs
get
in
it.
general.
No. In college I took this singing class, and they were like, you had to prepare a song for this like performance, and I really love Al Green.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to sing an Al Green song. And dude, like my voice does not blend with Al Green at all. And I remember the morning before I was going to perform, I watched an interview for the first time of Al Green, and he talks exactly like he sings in falsetto. He's like, yeah, baby, like, this is, we're going to do that. And I was just like, oh, fuck. Like, this isn't me.
Yeah.
And I just had like the worst performance.
Mhm.
But it was like, I could just get through on charisma. Is the only reason people enjoyed the performance is because I was like pointing and winking and shit like that.
You wear a tight shirt,
Nah, I didn't wear a tight shirt. Should have worn one.
sweatpants, no underwear.
Yeah, baby. I just had that thing fucking. I made sure give it a couple tugs before.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what was that for? Musical theater or something? What was that?
Yeah, it was just I forgot what was the name of the class, but it was just I wanted to take a music class to learn how to sing.
That was in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was so after I moved home from Puerto Rico with a bachelor's in nursing, I was like, I'm not going to do any of this. Like, I don't want to be a nurse at all.
Damn.
Yeah.
How much time did you commit to that?
Of actual nursing school outside of general, like gen ed, was like 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah. But it was like, I like really got into music in college while I was going to nursing school.
Is that when you started rapping and shit?
Yeah, baby. And
It was cool to go back and see some of your
it's interesting,
songs.
Yeah. Because I do have like, and that's the thing, at my ripe old age of 34, I always tell people who are younger, just do everything. Like try everything. Try music, try cooking, try any creative outlet. Because you're going to find what you're supposed to do.
Dominatrix, try it all.
Exactly. I honestly, like that, I would tell, they were like, I kind of want to try it. I'm like, fucking do it. Try it out.
Yeah.
But because then you find what you're meant to do and what you enjoy doing the most. And you're never going to figure that out unless you do things that like lead you to what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Or what works for you the best for your personality,
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in like fate or stuff like that. Like I think there's certain careers and outlets that lock in perfectly for who you are,
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be committed completely to, I only want to be this and it has to be this.
Right.
Like you have to be more flexible and like adjust to like what you really enjoy and what you're good at and what gives you the most fulfillment. You just got to do what makes you happy,
And I think there could be multiple things.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, I I don't think anything's perfect for you because like all these careers and all these things we've created are man-made.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting for me to think about like, you know, somebody's like, oh, the guitar is like meant for me or something. Like that was created by somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I guess music is like kind of a thing that's always existed in some sense.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of different ways to like tap into creativity, to an art form, to helping others, to like these bigger things.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, dude. Is humans are like creative, and I think we've gotten like fucked up in society with like some of these jobs and like what people think matters is like making money. Like money shouldn't be the goal. It should be like enjoying your life and finding something that lets you do the things that bring you happiness, like catching seaweed on your oar, you know?
That's the catch of the day right there.
That's catch of the day right there,
Dang,
baby.
didn't even need a fishing pole.
Damn,
Look at
that
you go,
thing.
dude. That's awesome. You got to keep that, man.
Dude, I'm gonna.
You got 2 scarves now.
Yeah.
Were you always like that? Did you used to be a young hustler who wanted to chase some money?
To want to chase money? No, I knew so I've always been
Smart?
No, I've been pretty stupid in my life.
Hot?
That's just a matter of opinion. Like I've always been in the hustling and making money and like being an entrepreneur. Like I never wanted to do what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
Like in high school, I found
Sell drugs?
Close. I sold chocolate bars.
Oh yeah.
I found out the companies that like Girl Scouts and sports teams bought their candy from.
Yeah, I know those.
Yeah.
I think of them in my head. They still sell the same ones.
There's like C's candy, but there's
Right.
like all these bars where they would come to school, like buy a chocolate for $1 to help support our soccer team.
Yeah.
So what I started doing was I found those companies and I would write them to get their wholesale prices. And I would get chocolate bars for like sometimes as low as like 30 cents a bar.
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would go to the school and I'd sell my chocolate bars for $1 and just tell them it was for my swim team when it wasn't. And
Were you a swimmer or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what I would do is I would go into the administration office and I'd be like, hey, can I put these up here for you guys to sell for my swim team? And they would be like, yeah, we'll sell it. Like just put it on the counter. So then at the end of the day, every day I would go collect my chocolate bar money from the faculty. So I had like the administrative office selling my chocolate for me. You know?
What grade is this?
This was that was sophomore year in high school.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you stopped being homeschooled at a certain point?
Freshman year in high school is when I first went to school.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild.
Were you a weirdo?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
especially at first because you're just like it's shock
Right.
of being dropped into like the most dumbest hierarchy ever of being cool in high school. Because you don't work, you don't make money. Like all the clothes you have and everything is just what your parents got you.
Right.
You know? So it's like you have nothing to really flex with.
Right.
And I understood that and I was like, this is so stupid. Like people wanting to be cool and everything like that.
Did you really want to go to school?
Yeah. I really like being social
Uh-huh.
and like having friends and everything like that. So I never felt good about like being at home. Like I was on a swim team growing up and like so I had friends and stuff. But
they all went to normal school.
Yeah.
So you'd be at home and they'd be talking about what was going on at real school.
They'd be like, yeah, having real, you know, shit happen at school and I'd be like, dude, one of my pigeons got sick today.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, plus you're like 13, 14, you start getting horned up. You're like, I want to go kiss something or something. Like,
yeah, and I got my mom.
Yeah, that's all
But
you
it's
got.
like you don't want it's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. You're not into her at that point.
Not anymore, bro.
Yeah, it's
But-
been there, done that.
I do warrant being homeschooled. Like, because that's the thing is people ask me since I am homeschooled, or I was.
Yeah, what are you going to do with your kid?
Yeah, I want him to have that social interaction, but I also want him to be an individual. Because you kind of, when you go to school, are we going to go into this wall right now?
I mean, you're steering, man.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm swinging it behind me so I don't get this stuff wet.
I'm taking charge now. I know, that's really nice of you.
I try.
I guess it's your own stuff that you're worried about.
I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, no, I don't. I want them to have that, but like I want them to be an individual. So like when you go to school, you're almost getting programmed that you should be spending 8 hours of your day doing shit that you don't enjoy.
Right.
Because no kids really like school in the format it is now. Like it was
Right.
terrible.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, were you good? Did you enjoy school? Like
No.
work?
No, I mean, I liked going and seeing my friends and stuff, but the actual schooling part, I was just like, this is dumb.
And it makes you from a young age be like, it's okay to hate your life for 8 hours a day.
Yes.
So then you grow up and you get a job that you hate, but you're like, I've been doing this since I was a little
Right.
kid.
Yeah.
So like that aspect of it gave me be like, I need to start my own business and do like my own thing because I don't want to. I'd never experienced that. So when I did get jobs that I didn't like, I'd be like, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to go find a way to like make ends meet so I don't have to play this game, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a trap, you know, at the end of the day.
So in that sense, homeschooling was beneficial.
Yeah. And for just being creative and like being able to entertain. Like, I think I can think of things because I had to be creative as a kid. Are we going to get killed again?
God. I mean, they just came this, like, come on, keep going. It's so annoying.
Who do they think they are?
They
First of
don't
all,
watch where they're going.
do they have rear view mirrors at all? Oh, they have a guy guiding them.
Oh, yeah, that'd
Oh,
be
there's
my
someone
job.
inside.
I want that spot. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Doesn't have to do shit.
That's who you want to be. That's called working smart right there.
They must hate her, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not on the team. What are you talking about?
Dude, that's how uncoordinated white people are is they need someone to teach them how to be on tempo. Like they need a tempo counter to stay on beat.
I think she steers it too a little because there's so many twists and turns on this river
It's actually pretty interesting.
for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So Texas Longhorns.
Hook 'em on.
Hook 'em.
Anyway, what are you going to do with your kid? You're going to, what's the verdict? What's the fine balance?
They're going to go to school. But I'm hoping that like, I don't know. I just hope I just want them to do what makes them happy, you know? And to be well balanced.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a weird thing where, why are you laughing? What's funny?
I was thinking about them saying I want to be dominatrixing.
Could you imagine? Because those are one of those careers. Do you just fall into that? Because I don't know. I've never like if there's a little kid who's just like, I want to be a dominatrix when I grow. Like, how do you even know that career exists?
Nah. I mean, I think there's some kids that are more horned up than other kids, but
Facts.
you know, some people, but yeah, no. Nobody, no. Nah.
So is this worst case scenario? Do you want your daughter to be a stripper or a dominatrix?
I guess dominatrix, I guess.
It's a power position, right?
Yeah. I just, I don't know. Like sexual type stuff, I don't know if it's good to like always. Yeah, I don't even know what I think about it. But I think it's not good to always think about it. Like if that's your work is like sex stuff, I just think it's like, can maybe ruin it or maybe not.
Like seeing how the sausage is made. Like sex isn't. That's like
No, just like your own relationships. If you want to be, you know, like okay, you're in a relationship now, right? You're happily almost married. Or did you get married?
Huh?
Did you get married?
Not yet.
Next month?
Next month.
Um,
Yesterday was a month away, so I have less than a month.
wow. That's cool. So you're happily almost married. You know, if you were out doing pornos every day, that would change your relationship a little, maybe, or no?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It definitely, I would assume. Especially if you got to be busting nuts all day.
Yeah, what was your thought with jerking off? I didn't get your take on.
In what sense?
I mean, do you like it? Do you try to not do it? Do you think it's good or bad?
I try to limit it. I try to limit my exposure to stuff that just like makes me bad with discipline.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like junk food, basically like the lowest hanging fruit of pleasure.
Yeah, that you didn't like fully earn or like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about that. I used to be get through ups and downs of being good and bad at it.
Yeah.
But does that tie into drugs and alcohol?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've never, I don't know if I drank a lot in college, but
Hell yeah.
yeah, you know,
Get fucked up.
get so fucked up, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
But it never was like a problem. Like I used to get way too drunk. But I think, yeah, all that comes down, like I never felt good about it. And it was like,
Yeah.
And the same thing with like porn. Like I don't think especially as you get older, you're like, you start looking at porn different. Like I always think like, dude, the first times you ever saw porn when you were like, I don't know how old, it was magical. You were just like, what the fuck? This is out there?
It was like teleporting. It's like almost like, yeah, you're on a different planet.
I remember the first time I ever saw a porno. It was ironically at a relative's house at Easter. The
Wow.
Lord has risen, and so had my baby dick. Okay?
Damn.
Sorry, that was crass, talking about Easter. We have animals scurrying in the bushes right now. But anyway, I remember finding a magazine underneath the bathroom like cabinet. And it was like literally a magazine. This was before the internet. And I remember opening up and it was lesbians. And it blew my fucking mind. Like
Yeah.
it was performing oral sex on another woman. And it just blew my mind. My kid brain was just like, what is this?
Would it make you feel happy, sad?
It was shocking. It literally, I think part
It
of
was
me.
awesome.
Huh?
It was awesome. A little scary.
I think it was stunning. Like
Stunning.
to the point where I was like, it was something to me. Like it definitely wasn't like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. It was more like, I didn't know this existed.
Spiritual.
Yeah, it was an awakening, brother. You know? But I remember walking out of the bathroom and just like staring at everybody else and being like, life is not the same anymore.
Yeah, I've seen God.
Yeah, I'm playing 3-dimensional chess now. Like something else is going on. Like I just woke up from the Matrix and there's new shit that you
that's
can do
awesome.
with your mouth. And it's like, I remember walking around at Easter being like, yeah, I'm not going to fucking look for eggs. Got bitches eating pussy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And did I go back again? Yeah, I did. I had to check it down a second time.
Yeah.
Flip
I mean,
some
and
pages.
it can get you into like your animal instincts of like you're not even like you're like a coke fiend at that point.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I got to go back and see, I got to go back to Narnia for a minute. Let me take another look.
It is Narnia. That's a great way to put what it's like finding porn as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember after that finding, when I was like 10 or 11, I was working at the fireworks booth. My swim team had a fireworks booth. And like all the swim, like to raise money,
Oh yeah.
you would like have a fireworks booth. And a bunch of the swimmers, we would meet there and hang out while like the parents worked shifts.
Uh-huh.
And there was these abandoned tunnels near the fireworks booth. And we found a porno magazine there.
That's awesome.
And we went to it every day and would just stare and would just be like, this is insane. You take a look. And we look and be like, yo, turn to page 111. It's going to knock your dick in the dirt. And I just remember being like, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And you weren't thinking at the time, I'm like, oh, that's someone's daughter. This is bad for my mental health and for, my relationship.
You're just appreciating art, your community building, your...
All those things. Only positive when you're young.
Right.
But then that's the point is, as you get older, you go, I don't think this is community building anymore because I'm by myself in the bathroom right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just something to think about.
That's good.
What was the first thing you ever saw? Do you remember?
Dude, I remember being at my friend's house when I was like probably like 10 or something. And, his dad had a computer, like a work laptop or something, and he let us play like video games on it and stuff sometimes. And so, yeah, there was I think he was like, hey, check this out. And typed in like boobs.com or something like
hell
that.
Yeah.
Or just Googled like boobs or like, and then he pulled up some site and there was like naked ladies, and I just remember like in my head it was like colors and like just naked ladies, like it was almost like felt like I was like on a
You were painting with all the colors of the wind.
right,
Yeah.
but it almost felt like I was on
The Reading Rainbow?
kind of similar, or like a Disneyland roller coaster type thing, like
You
Mr.
went It's a
Toad's
Small
Magic
World?
Ride
Oh,
or
okay,
something,
Mr. Toad's.
or like
That
it's a
makes-
small world.
That
But it's
Stay
a
away
boob
from
world.
It's a Small
Whatever. I don't know. It's just like, whoa. And I remember part of me being like, we're not supposed to be doing this, but then no, but like, let me look. Like it was like two sides of me like dancing with like the
good wolf and the bad wolf.
hey, we shouldn't be doing that, but like, hold on, wait a sec. Don't like say wait. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
But I remember feeling kind of bad, like we're not supposed to be doing this, but also like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how it starts. And it's crazy because you think about now, like kids having access to iPads and being able to see like the craziest things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gone, like that's the thing is like you as a kid looking at boobs.com is so harmless compared to what a 6-year-old can pull up on the internet now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like sleeping with iPads because the parents are just like, you raise yourself with this iPad.
Right. Yeah, there's the developmental side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know how good or bad it is for you,
Well, we're going to find out, brother,
I guess.
as a species.
But I don't know. There's part of me that doesn't want to think about it or even like talk about it sometimes.
Yeah. We can move on.
Porn, sex. Like there's just a part of me that just feels weird about it.
Yeah.
Like I think I've always been a little bit maybe prude or
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Just like didn't like sharing those kind of things.
I get that. You don't kiss and tell. It's what it is you're a good man. You're a good person.
But that's what I'm wrestling with right now is it bad? Is it good? Where do these things come from?
To kiss and tell and to talk about your own sexual exploits. I've never, especially when people are in relationships, when friends would show me pictures of girls that they were dating and were like, check out this chick she sent me. I'm like, don't show me that. Like, that's weird, you know?
Yeah, but show me it.
Yeah, but like,
don't show me that, but send that to me.
yeah, send it to me. I can study it in my own time. But
just kidding.
I get where you're coming from.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's like I always feel really. I think one thing about me, I always feel really bad about stuff.
Like what?
Or like if I ever like hurt someone's feelings, or if I do something bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that comes from like do you have to believe in God to like do the right thing?
No, I think it's ingrained in people, especially with like society. Like that's the thing is I think people are good at our core and we want to do the right things.
Uh-huh.
And maybe you're more empathetic than you let on, you know? You try to act like you're this cold person, but you're really a sweetheart. I know this about you. I've seen it. I see it in your eyes and I see it in your touch.
Well, you're a sweetheart too.
I try to be.
I mean, yeah, you didn't join a gang. That took a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to at one point though.
Dude, were you super like on the topic of like being sexual? Like were you like did you have interactions with girls because you were homeschooled, or like did it take you a while? Were you friend zoned a lot and stuff? I don't know. Did you have girlfriends?
Yeah. So I've always had kind of like charisma. That's the only thing I've had working for me.
Oh yeah, if you could sell a chocolate bar, I mean, you could kiss a girl.
That's the one thing.
Start a kissing booth.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I have is that because when I was a little kid, I was just a short little fat kid. Like
really?
Yeah, just short little fat round thing.
Oh yeah.
And all I had was charisma though. Like I just had to try to be entertaining and everything.
Yeah.
So I was able to get girls like that and just be funny. You know, I still had my heart broken. There was times where the girls would just pick another guy and it broke me, you know?
Yeah.
I remember one time sitting in the car and just with my hands in my head, and I didn't want to go to the grocery store with my parents because I was just so heartbroken that this girl picked my friend over me. You know,
Damn, your friend?
my friend. He was like my best friend, fucking Jimmy.
Who
Yeah.
liked her first?
I did. I was in love.
Oh.
You know.
You stay friends?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
worked it
tough.
out. But my first kiss. That's what's crazy. Is my first kiss was playing. I went to this girl's birthday party, and I was the only guy invited. And
Whoa.
there was like maybe 10 girls, and once like my parents left and we were like in the pool and everything, like the girls were swimming around me, and they were like, we want to play spin the bottle.
What?
And I was like, okay. And so my first
Do you
kiss,
guys all just want to get in line?
dude,
Because I'm the only guy.
and what they said is they go, okay, well, we don't want to kiss each other, we just want to kiss you. And I was like, okay.
How old are you?
I was probably like 10 or 11 maybe.
This is awesome, dude.
Greatest entry into any kind of sexual exploration ever. This is my first kiss. So
I can't believe you didn't back out. Like, you had the confidence to just be like, yeah,
I think I don't know what.
line them up.
I was just like, yeah, like, okay. Because I had a crush on the girl whose birthday party it was. And
Yeah.
she had like a crush on me. We ended up dating. We got married as little kids. It was like a very serious thing.
Right.
I proposed to her with a soda can. One day, I was just like, here, I want you to be my wife. And I gave her a soda can, and she accepted. She drank it. And as far as I was concerned, that was legal. But we go into her playhouse. She had like her, I don't know, her parents she was a single child. So I think, sometimes like single children get a lot of like cool stuff.
Right.
So she had a playhouse, and me and these 10 girls all went in there, and the girls would take turns spinning the bottle, and then they would just kiss me. Spin the bottle, just kiss me. And it was crazy because it would start changing. They'd be like, all right, now you got to hold it for like 10 seconds. Like, it was just this crazy thing.
Yeah, once you kissed everybody, it got boring.
Yeah.
Let's ramp it up.
But here's the crazy thing.
So none of the girls were getting jealous or anything, or being like, hey, I just want to be kissing him. They were all into like being
They were
your-
all into it except for one girl. So we were playing spin the bottle, and this girl was like, I don't want to play. So she like hung out while everybody was just taking it. I was like, you don't have to ride then. The ride, just
got
wait for your
9
friends.
more. Yeah, 9 and 10's the same thing.
Yeah. And so there was also an upstairs compartment to this playground, like this like doll house. It was literally like there's just a play area. You walk in, there's a ladder with a bed upstairs with a little TV.
What?
So crazy. So then like the girl whose birthday it was, she was like, let's play house. And then I was like, okay. So I was like a TV repairman, and I would come over there to her house, and then like I would just kiss her. Like, it was this crazy thing that was happening, dude. And the other girls would come up and they would want to play too. So like it was nuts.
So you kissed like 10 girls on your first kissing?
9.
9?
And then the one girl that didn't want to kiss, who was a goody two shoes, she goes and she
told
goes,
on you.
I'm gonna go tell
Oh,
your parents because this isn't right.
I know this girl.
Yeah. And
She sucks.
Dude, sucks. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do at this point, because I'm like, any father catches this, there's a fox in the hen house at this point.
Right.
So this girl walks inside and she carries the bottle. She takes the bottle like it's evidence. Like she's gonna be able to, like, it's gonna hold up in court and look, they had a bottle indeed. And so the girl goes in there and they're like, well, maybe she's not telling this. She's just trying to scare us. Like, we'll stop playing. And then I'm like, I'm already full. I'm like, I'm fine, like whatever. And so then the girl comes out and she's holding the bottle, and the dad is following her. And I'm like, I'm about to be murdered.
He wants to play?
Could you use one more? And then just the Pornhub, the song comes on. Dong, 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 dong. Opens the door, swings it open. A full grown ass man. And I'm just standing there just like with my harem of women around me. And I'm just like, and he goes, what are you guys doing? And then one of the girls that was like, I don't know, the leader of the group, wasn't even the girl whose birthday it was. She goes, just playing around. What are you guys playing? And the girl is behind him like this. And I'm like, you fucking bitch.
God.
And then the girl goes, just a game. And then he goes, what game? He goes, she goes, spin the bottle.
What?
And then the dad goes, he looks around at everybody, and then he locks eyes with me, and he goes, y'all need to quit playing this game. And I just go, and then he walked out. That was it. I thought I was going to get murdered, but I think he gave me a pass. Like,
Yeah. He wanted to give you a high five.
Right?
Yeah.
He probably called his friend. He's like, dude, guess what this kid just pulled off right now?
Right.
But that was literally my first kiss, was that experience, which was it's such an insane experience to have. That's something from like the Wonder Years, like something that you just hear about in a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
It's almost, I almost worry if it was too good of a first experience that like now you might, you think you're a silverback gorilla. You don't know, can you even deal with being monogamous?
Yeah.
Like I'm worrying about you getting married now because you'll maybe always go back to like, I need 10.
Yeah. That's just a struggle and a chance my fiance is going to have to take.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I did start talking about this on stage, and I was saying like my first hand job, she was like, are you not enjoying this? And I'm like, well, are your friends running late? Like you just.
Did you really say that?
No, but I mean, that's just.
That was stupid of me for saying that. I'm sorry.
Is that real?
Edit that out.
No, yeah. But it's also like I peaked too early.
Yeah.
I peaked with the harmless stuff rather than being in college, and a sorority is just like, yo.
Right.
We're going to oogle your noodle, you know?
But don't say that in your wedding speech either. Don't say I peaked too early.
Yeah. What if it was the girl I'm marrying is the one from the birthday party? It was her birthday party?
No, she was the one that was like,
yeah,
told on him.
Well, she's a good one.
Yeah.
She's the one you want is the one that didn't kiss you and spin the bottle,
Yeah. Are you excited to be getting married, do you think?
I am. I'm nervous too.
Really?
It's just like
she might get cold feet, you think?
No.
Oh, you think she'll say yes?
Yeah. She's for sure on board. I'm just nervous in the sense of like it's such a big commitment, but I mean, and it's just you're getting married. Like it's just like it's legal, I love her, and I mean I wouldn't want to be with anybody else. You know?
And it's just like a sign of you growing up, and it's a thing with life.
Yeah, and it's like
it's cool.
I lived wild days, in college and high school and stuff. Like I did have fun, tons of fun, probably too much.
In Puerto Rico, they get wild, right?
So wild.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Can't do that forever.
No. Right. And that's the thing is you could dance with the devil, but you gotta know when the song is finished.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Because you see that, and that's one thing I think from being homeschooled and like stuff like that, is I've always gone into situations really observant. So I really like studying people's lives and like how things are.
Yeah.
So like I would be in the club breaking it down. Like I love people watching. And I would see these older people in the club trying to hold on to those glory years.
It's sad.
And exactly, and you'd see them out there just trying to grasp of like, this is still this time in my life, and it's just like, it does get sad after a while. And like, that's the thing is like, I don't care about getting older. And like, I don't, because it's like, you just move on to the next level. And there's so many benefits to that as well. But you got to let go of the wall of that side of your life to get to that side of the pool.
Right. Well, and at each stage of life, there's a way for you to enjoy it, and there's a thing to do. I think the struggle for people is like, they don't like the way their life is right now, and they look back at the way it used to be, and they're like, that was better.
Yeah.
They don't know how to move on and do something else that's cool right now.
Yeah.
So they're like, that's all I know.
And it's interesting that like, and it happens with breakups and just different phases of your life, is you look back at it with nostalgic views and like as if it was the greatest golden years when there really was probably a lot of pain and a lot of stuff you really didn't enjoy, but you're looking back on it. Right. That it's the past through almost like rose-colored goggles where you're like, that was such a great time. I was so young and free and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, like I look at like high school and college and sometimes where it's just like, man, I was so carefree, but it's like, some of those times in my life were like the hardest times or like anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like you look back on it as if it was just amazing because it's just different,
Right. Yeah, you forget those things. You forget the bad stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes.
I've always noticed that with like breakups, especially friends going through breakups, where they just only focus on the good times they had with that person.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, bro, do you not remember the hard times when you were calling me being like, oh, this shit's crazy? And I don't know. You always want to make it sound better than it was.
So it seems like, is that a sheep?
Now there's water sheep.
It seems like you got a lot of wisdom over your years, and you feel like you're in a good spot, and you're happy, and you know what you're supposed to be doing.
I'm trying, I'm trying to figure it out. And that's the thing is like, it does come with age. And it's like, it's nice to be at this point because, and that's the thing is like with comedy, I'm so new to comedy. Like I've been doing it for 4 years.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, it's such a long road ahead.
Uh-huh.
But I have a lot of time in other areas around comedy with like production and like just being creative and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I'm starting to hit the tipping point of having success from those things. And it's nice to have that now because I mean with video production and just like entertainment in general, like music and stuff, it's been like you said, like 10 or 12 years, that I've been doing it. And it's like a lot of people who are younger, they see where it's at now and they think it's like, oh yeah, that's great that you have a house and like all this stuff. But it's like the struggle to get to that point.
Daddy worked for it.
Daddy worked for it, baby.
Yeah.
But it's also not like, oh, I did this, I built this on my own. But it's like, it is great. And that's where like the wisdom comes from because most of the time I was super insecure and felt like none of it was ever going to work. Like it always was like, I didn't always know, oh yeah, I'm just going to keep going on this path and this is what I do. There were so many times in like, even like the past few years where I'd just be like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know what the path is. And like, I don't know if I can really have my own business or like, it's normal. Like the process of feeling like it's not going to work out and you don't know if it is, but you just stay on the course and then eventually it works out for you.
So in high school, were you like, I'm going to be a nurse?
What it was is I think I told you on my podcast I had a brother pass away.
Uh-huh.
And going through that made me go into like a weird reclusive shell where all I wanted to do was make sure my parents were okay.
Was it just you two?
No, I have an older sister and an older brother.
Okay.
But I was the one it was just my brother and I living in the house at that point.
They're older.
Yeah. And so when that happened, I had to like fill a void of being, the good son. And like, I didn't want to make waves for them. I didn't want them to like worry about me. So I'm like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get a good degree. I'm going to get a good job. And that's what I'm going to do. Like,
what was your different feeling from before he passed away?
I'm just living my life and I'm just
yourself.
having fun.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a lot of responsibilities. I'm just kind of going through life and having fun.
Yeah.
And then after he passed away, it was like, it was my sophomore year in high school. And it like shook me into reality of like how hard life is. Cause like after that, I didn't care about, like chasing girls and I didn't care about, oh, does this person think I'm cool? And like all the bullshit you focus on in high school. I was like, I remember going to school the summer after it happened and like looking at normal kids and being like, you guys aren't like what you care about the most trivial shit. Like I just saw like my parents breaking down like all summer. Like I had to deal with like this real crazy shit, and it made me like, just because I am empathetic, I was like, I just got to make sure they're good and I need to like not deal with it myself. I'm just going to push all this in and I'm just going to take a safe route. I'm going to get a good job and they're not going to have to worry about me. And in turn, they will be fine from that. But then it's like I got into college and I got away from family and stuff and was able to like smoke a lot of weed in Puerto Rico and like start working through things and figuring things out. And it made me like, I never wanted to be a nurse. Like it was just a really good paying job and that was that. But then I started like realizing I'm never going to be a happy person unless I do the things that I want to do and give me fulfillment. So to answer your question, no, I didn't want to be a nurse. At the time, I just was like, let's do something that's safe and something that is stable and you don't make waves with.
Right.
Which is why now, whenever I see people, like that's why my thing is always telling people like, get fulfillment. Because even if you start making really good money and you're doing what you think other people want you to do, you're never going to be happy. And you're going to get to the end of your life and you're just going to be like, what was it all for? Who was I
Yeah.
doing this for? To impress people? Like, people get caught in these loops where they get too close to the trees to see the forest of life. Of just like, they're so focused on like their personal life of, oh, I need to impress this person, whether it's family or it's childhood friends or whoever is around me, that they're like, they don't even stop and go, am I even enjoying doing any of this?
Right.
Or am I just competing in a race that I don't even want to be in? Bars.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You just got to do what you love, man. You just got to try to be happy. You have to like feel, and that's why like I enjoyed this so much, is because like I do get too much with working all the time, where you have to plan stuff in your daily life of what gives you fulfillment. And then like, I think by being a happy person and doing stuff that's fulfilling to you, the success comes from that, of being that kind of person, rather than thinking you should keep working, then you'll have success, and then you can do all those fulfilling things. Like, you should be trying to do them on a regular basis, and then everything else kind of falls into line.
Was there a moment when you realized that nursing wasn't for you? Was there any fear in that, and being like, oh, I put all this time into this, like, I'm going to let people down if I like, that's what I fear sometimes. I think when it comes to like, earlier you're saying like try all these things and stuff, but sometimes it's scary to try things because like you want to give your all to them, and then there's the fear of like not doing it anymore. It's like people associate you with that. That's your identity.
That makes sense. And yeah, they're definitely, and that's part of the thing of like getting older, is realizing that if people care about that, then they don't have your best interest.
Yeah, right?
Like, if people really love you, they should want you to be fulfilled and to be happy doing what you love to do.
Dude, sometimes it's frustrating to me how like I can let other people's opinion of me, a lot of times it's not even true. It's like my perceived feeling of what they might think of me.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do I care what people I don't care about think of me? But for some reason I do, if I don't keep myself in check.
And that's the thing, is when I say people are too close to the trees to see the forest, is when you're getting caught in a loop of caring too much of what people say about you,
Right.
you know? And you're like, you don't take advice from people who don't have a life that you want. You know, like if someone gives me advice and I look at their life and I go, are you doing things that I want to do? Like,
Right.
Or are you miserable in your job and you're just you became bitter, you know?
Right.
And that's, yeah, there is that. And there definitely was that growing up, where I did feel a lot of pressure to try to do things for other people, and then caring that I was going to let them down. But then at a certain point, there's like a breaking point. You're like, I can't live like that. If you're not doing
Right.
the stuff that makes, especially if you're trying to take care of other people, if you can't take care of yourself first, you're not even going to be able to take care of those people.
Right.
So it's like, you have to build your life and do the things for you so you can come back and take care of those people if you want, if that's what your goal is.
Yeah, and it's like it's a very like self-centered view to think that like people have this much space for you in their mind all the time. To think that what you're doing holds this much weight.
Yeah.
And that it's like these people are thinking about why are they doing, like, you know, it's like it's kind of egotistical, narcissistic to think that we can give a shit what anybody does with their life. So why would we think other people care what we do?
Exactly. There's like weird social anxiety tied into main character syndrome, where you think you walk into a room and everybody is looking at you.
Yeah.
That everybody cares. But it's like, dude, especially with comedians, there's like that that thing. Like, I used to always hate doing comedy in front of other comedians, because I always thought that they were like, oh, I want to do good because I want them to think I'm good, or blah, 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 like whatever. But it's like, most of the time, they're so focused on doing their own set.
Right.
And not even caring. They're just having that same thing where like, I want my set to be good, that they're not even really focused on your set.
Yeah.
And if people judge you on that, then that's their own thing.
Yeah. So how did you how'd you pivot? You realize you don't want to do nursing. You just got out of school. You've been nursing. You've been doing all that stuff. How do you jump ship? Where do you go? What do you do?
So I did, after college, I moved home for a little bit. I helped my dad doing construction for a little while.
Were your parents disappointed in you?
No, they were just like, what are you going to do?
Right.
And it was like, I don't know which way we're going. Which way are we going?
I'll turn us this way.
I got the sun in my face and it's killing me.
Sorry.
Um,
I'll get it out of your face. Put it in my face.
What a gentleman.
Yeah. Spit in my face.
Hell yeah. It was like, it was struggle city for a while. And it was like, I ended up moving to Texas actually, to near Dallas. And I did every single kind of odd job you can think of. Except like OnlyFans and like paying people or letting them pay me to spit on them.
Right.
You know?
You had friends out here or something?
I had one friend who lived in Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
And so I moved in with him and I did every single kind of odd job. Dude, I was even just to paying bills, I was betting on fights to try to make money. Like it was insane because I'd be watching fights.
Was that ever lucrative?
A couple times it did really good. But there would be times where I was like, I needed to make money for like, oh shit, I have to pay the utility bill. And then it would be like, I have to make $300 tonight. And it was just like terrible. I'd lose like $80. And I'd be like, now I'm worse off. Now I got to go drive a food delivery truck on a Sunday.
I got to double down.
Yeah, exactly. But it was my parents were more, they were like, what are you going to do? How are you going to make money? This is kind of crazy. Because I was like,
plan?
Yeah, because I was just like, I want to do music. I want to do video. I don't know yet. And it was like, dude, you go through that where people judge you, especially when you're like in your early 20s. If you went to college, they're like, you're not going to use your degree. Like I had so many people tell me like, you should really reconsider being a nurse. And it's like, it's heartbreaking to feel that when you are in that vulnerable stage of your career. Because it's like now.
You're so glad you didn't.
Yeah. And all those people are miserable who decided to stay with that. But it's also like, it wasn't until it started being successful that people are like, oh, that's cool that you can do your own thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, it took like 10 years to do that.
Uh-huh.
It took a lot of time. And in those early years, it sucks when you have people not give you a boost and they tell you. I don't think there's a lot of people trying to do that. Like, wait, how? Okay, you need to join the real world kind of thing.
Right.
You know?
Dude, that's how I feel. Sometimes I would like wish I didn't even go to college because it puts more pressure on me to like make use of that. Like sometimes I think if I never went to college, I wouldn't feel as bad for not doing certain things.
Yeah, but like all it really is just sticking to it and just working hard. Like you literally can do whatever you want. Like that's the great thing with the internet is you can learn anything you ever want to learn. And if you're like willing to work, you can build whatever kind of life you want to build.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what's amazing. And that's what I like about meeting so many comedians in Austin is we're all the same in a lot of ways. We're like creative people who just want to do things that are fulfilling creatively for ourselves. And it's a good group of people, you know?
Yeah.
So many different kinds of people.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I can get really impatient because of like I think things will work out, like you're saying, if you like stick to it and stuff. But it's like, it's hard when you like try to put a timeline for yourself.
Yeah.
Or when you feel like, I don't know, the pressures of like, you know, like living with my girlfriend and stuff. And like,
yeah,
there's that like comparison. And then there's like, I don't know, just feeling like you're getting older and moving towards things. Like, did you feel any of those pressures? Like when you started doing video production and stuff, were you like single and like?
So I started, I was doing music before meeting my fiance, but I started my business after. And that's the thing is I'm with someone who like, I don't know, it is so important who you're with.
Yeah.
And this is someone who, she was always there. If I was going to film a music video, if I was going to do anything filming, she'd be there ironing the background. Like anything. Okay, well here, let's do this, let's do that. Helping me set up lights, pressing record. She always believed in you. Yeah, like she always was like, yeah, whatever you want to do it. Like we'll be successful. And it's like, you just got to surround yourself like with that, you know? And What do you mean living with a girlfriend? Do you mean like it like not getting married yet and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I guess you just like see yourself getting towards getting married or having a family and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think those kind of things can push you to like the stability route.
Yeah. See, that's the trap. Is because I mean I see there are benefits to stability, but it's like you can do that on your own terms. Like obviously comedy's a really unstable thing. But there's so many different ways that you can find stability on your own terms.
Right.
With building your own business, with getting like developing a creative skill set that's in demand, like what you do with editing and being able to produce all this stuff. Like if you just keep producing all this stuff, it will one day turn into something that you didn't realize it was. Like,
yeah, I think that.
Like that's the thing with my business. So like my business model is I work with companies on a retainer basis, and I'll help them in all aspects of marketing development. And that's more than just video production. That's ideas, creativity, different marketing ideas. And it's all skill sets I built along the way, not realizing those were going to be part of my business. From like photography, learning how to like, any kind of marketing, like the stuff you do on Instagram with like pulling pictures and deciding what clips would be good for social media, that kind of stuff. That's all a skill set that can be monetized outside of just your personal career.
Right.
So that's the thing is like you just keep developing different skill sets and
keep learning stuff, doing stuff you like.
Yeah.
I guess the main thing is like there's not a picking, following your dreams and creative stuff versus the stability. Like you can have a balance of both.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do things, you can put some attention towards, making money and doing that, but you can also have your stuff on the side that's just for you, that's for the future, that's investing in yourself.
Yeah.
It's not a either or.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's sexy to, especially in comedy where people are like, oh, I was sleeping in my car and blah, 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 and all I was doing mics and blah, blah, blah. Like that's one route to do it, but there's plenty of other routes.
Yeah.
Like you look at the contrast of even like someone like Joe Rogan is like he was hustling and everything, and then he got like a development deal. So he had this financial stability where he was able to pursue his career. Like he didn't have to do all this other stuff because like, I don't know, that the grind is hard for comedians.
Yeah.
Where you're doing Uber and you're doing all these different things just to try to survive. But it's like if you can somehow create your own thing that can support you a little bit with this while you develop that, I think it's gonna be, like I'm in it for the long game, you know? Like there's no doubt in my mind that I'll be producing specials and having my own specials and just being in entertainment. Because I think stand-up comedy is gonna keep growing into a different thing than just stand-up comedy. It's already there. Like with podcasting has become its own art form.
Yeah.
Like it's not just all about being on the stage. Like there's certain comedians that I listen to their podcasts where I've actually never even really, like, I've never seen them live or seen a full special. Like, for the longest time, I was a fan of Andrew Santino before I ever even saw his special,
So, what made you want to get into comedy? Just from being a fan?
Being in production, especially music, I've always had, like, kind of the entertaining aspect. Like, I love making people laugh. And I saw comedy as like the rawest form of entertainment that doesn't need other people.
Right.
Because with music and music videos and everything, there's always barriers to the person. Mm-hmm. Especially with video production, you have pre-production, you have production, you have post-production, all these different things. But it's like you just get on stage with a mic and it's like the rawest form of entertainment, Yeah. And it's just addicting. Like, I love the puzzle of writing jokes. I love the ups. I love the downs. Like, I bombed terribly last weekend.
Hell yeah.
And it was such a great thing for me personally, like the growth.
Yeah.
even though I hated it for the next 72 hours, that cringing feeling, it was just so good for me as a person. Like, you get life skills from bombing on stage.
Yeah.
Like, just being able to handle that and, like, dealing with your ego. Like,
I say all the time, I think everyone should try stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And even if you bomb on stage, that's good for you. It's good for your ego.
Yeah. What got you into comedy?
Just listening to comedy podcasts, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it seemed fun to try. And seeing it live, too.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, are you still doing music?
No, I want to do...
Did you just rap, or did you produce songs, too? Or did you just do videos?
I would rap, produce, make beats, shoot music videos. So I did every aspect of music pretty much.
Do you still do music videos?
If I would be open to doing them, like if a client came and they wanted to film something, I would be open to it.
Yeah.
I actually just shot one like a month ago. Never mind. Yeah,
okay.
I did a music video. Shout out to P. Miller.
Okay.
All love. Shot it in downtown Austin.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just shot a music video like a month ago. I'll shoot anything.
Yeah.
I also love the challenge of that. That's like the thing is you just have to always be open to being uncomfortable creatively.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
But you're not rapping as much these days?
No. I want to mix comedy with it. Like, I think there's opportunities to...
Funny raps.
Yeah, funny raps. Giggle raps, if you will.
Lil Dicky.
Yeah, Little Dicky is a great example. Yeah, that's the thing is I just want to create stuff and do things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy making music and rapping and like...
Dude, I used to be a rapper too.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
No way.
It's funny. I was thinking, like, how many comedians used to rap or did music too?
I think it's the entry-level creative step of like, let me try this. Because you
it's
can't...
pretty easy.
Because the barrier to entry is all you have to do is start rhyming.
Right.
You don't have to go on stage.
Right.
Well, did you have a rap name specifically, or did you just go by Little Nico?
Yeah, Johnny Switchblade.
Johnny Switchblade. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
Yes.
Johnny Switchblade.
It was all
From the mean streets of Santa Clarita.
Yeah. It was all like satirical, or I guess like we were trying to be funny.
Okay.
So it was not like, oh, it's not this hard, like it's probably different from what you imagine. But all of our songs were aimed at being funny and saying the most outrageous, dirtiest, stupidest stuff.
Do you have a couple bars that you could spit for me?
Dang, on the spot. I mean, if I gave it some real thought, I could probably remember some, but I don't know if I hear any of the old songs. This is like high school times. If I hear any of the songs, I could rap the whole verse.
Really?
Like if I heard it, but I need the start of something. I don't know. I don't think I have something. Do you got something for me?
Nothing satirical, you know.
No, give me some. Dude,
I
I
don't
saw
know.
some of your songs. They were deep.
Oh, thanks, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything that. Let's see. If this is terrible, you got to cut it. You're not gonna cut it. Never mind.
No, I'll cut it.
I backed out.
I'll cut anything you want me to cut.
That's a real wolf right there.
Is it really?
That looks like a wolf.
It does look like a wolf.
That looks like the dog from Blue Buffalo, like on the top of the...
I think he's, part wolf or something. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely a wolf.
Yeah, look at his teeth.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And you thought you could fight a giraffe, and then you see a wolf, and then you're like...
I would not. That guy's scary.
That's what it would do to your leg
Should we
right there.
ask him if it's a wolf?
Yeah, ask him.
Is that a wolf?
Is it 100%? That is a beautiful animal.
Is it a puppy?
He says thank you like he's the parent.
He's gonna get bigger.
Wow. You don't see that every day. I actually don't think I've ever really seen one out in the nature like that.
Look at his paws.
Wow. Are we wrapping up?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, how do you feel?
I'm good. That was a good one.
We've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wait, give us
that's true.
a little couple bars. Come on.
Couple
drop some
bars?
on us.
Now I'm
Yeah.
nervous on the spot. Listen,
We'll cut it if it's,
I'm so incredible. I'm on point like a decimal. Y'all put basic bitches on a pedestal. All these filters and you still gonna be forgettable. They can't stomach the truth like my food for thought is not edible. Nowadays seems like no one is professional. It's ironic that you rap so corny, bitch, you sound like a vegetable. I can't be politically correct and still try to be sensible. They so sensitive. Bitch, if you hot but don't do shit, you just decorative. Huh? And I don't accessorize. I just run hell like the devil trying to exercise. Got 'em hanging on to every word like a dictionary. Mesmerized. Shit is scary when you got to wit to bury like a lyrical cemetery. If you're near me, only way you're close to legendary. Bars.
Bars. That was hot, dude.
Dude, I couldn't even remember it as I was saying it, and it was just coming back to me, you know?
God, that's cool, dude.
I keep them things on deck.
Yeah.
You know? Now it's your turn, baby. We got to finish this off with some bars. Some Johnny Switchblade bars, okay? Switch it up. Little Switchblade.
God, I
Got you
almost wanna
sour
pull
like
out
some
my
Minute
foot.
Maid.
I almost want to pull out my phone and hear a little so I can.
You can do whatever you want to do. We can cut this part.
All right, let me see my phone really quick.
All right. You got it? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Here we go.
This is from a song called Savage. It's about being savage.
Savage.
Let's see if I can remember the whole thing. Smoke a whole tree of pot. Switchblade the type to start beef a lot. Don't matter if she never seen a cock. After one night with Neek, she will be a thought. Ask her if she wants to eat my sock. Snot rocket into a bitch's twat. Cause I'm just so savage. Eating cabbage. Check my Tumblr, biatch. So all my raps were like that.
Oh, I love it. That was great. Those are some candy bars. Those are sweet. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite part about that was the old man walking by as you're saying this stuff. And he's just like, what's happening?
Rapping's fun. I want to get back into it.
Yeah, baby.
Me and my friends, we just make beats, mess around, make funny songs.
I love that. What were you on, Fruity Loops?
Ableton.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but maybe we'll collaborate.
I'm always open to collaborate,
Hell yeah.
especially with Johnny Switchblade.
Dude, you inspire me a lot. I'm happy to have met you.
Me too, man.
It's I feel very lucky to have been able to spend some time with you, even though we haven't spent too much time together. I feel like I already know you kind of well and stuff, and like.
Thanks, man. Hey,
Yeah.
I look forward to getting to know you more and start working together, figure out a way to collaborate on some stuff and just making dreams happen. You know?
Yeah, you said you were gonna text me. You never texted me.
About what?
About collaborating.
So I thought I had a job coming up, but it's gonna be in the next couple of weeks. I'm probably gonna take you on a film shoot. We'll pay you and everything. We'll get you all set up.
Wow.
Yeah.
You also don't need to pay me too. Like, you
No,
can just,
if you're gonna work and we're gonna be serious, you
be
gotta
an intern.
We got it. Nah, you gotta get paid. We'll pay you something, especially if you're taking off work for it.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
You gotta know your worth as a creative individual.
Sometimes I think my worth is negative when I forget SD cards, things like that.
Yeah, if you forget SD cards while we're working, it's gonna be a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. You yell at me or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I've always wanted to be that person that did something cool where you like write your unborn child a letter
Oh yeah.
when they're 1 year old, like so they can open it when they're like 30.
Yeah.
Or at like 35, I write a letter for my son to read when he's 35.
Mm.
And you'd be like, Dad didn't know what he was doing at the time, you know? Or even a letter to yourself, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I do a lot of journaling and stuff, and it's interesting to look back on old stuff
Yeah.
and see what,
Even your mindset and the way you were talking to yourself.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like,
even if I look back like a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, it's like
Yeah.
a lot's happened.
That's how I started finally podcasting, was because of journaling, because I had read. So some dates I'll go back a year before
Uh-huh.
just to like on, especially if it's like a new year or something, I'll go, let me see what I wrote last year at this time. And I'll be like, let me go back 2 years and see what I wrote. And the 2 years prior on that same date, I talked about starting a podcast. I'm going to start a podcast soon.
Dang.
And I hadn't started it. And I go, you know what? Now I need to start because like I held myself accountable. I was like, you've been saying this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Fucking start it.
I put it off for a while too.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody does.
I think so.
Stand up as well.
Yeah. That's one of those things where you definitely hear with comedians where they're like, I wanted to for 10 years.
Scary.
But then I finally got up and did it.
So what's next for you?
I just keep expanding things that I want to do, you know, because I know like it's crazy because like with my business, it's crazy because my business is entertainment in the sense of like I've built a business that I have. Once it's smooth and everything, I have to work hard, but it's like it's going to give me the ability to start funding things that I want to do. So I want to start doing more filming of like experiencing, you know, like I want to go to Buc-ee's and I want to have whoever owns Buc-ee's or works there, the manager, walk me through Buc-ee's and almost do like a 20-minute piece about Buc-ee's, like experience Buc-ee's, like have that experience.
Serious.
Yeah. Like I want to do like small travel episodes where it's like you go there and you experience like learn the backstory of Buc-ee's. And then I want to go to like, you know, the best burger in Texas and do like a video there, you know? So just more
Trump burgers.
Huh?
Trump burgers.
Trump burgers?
Yeah, have you heard of it? It's like there's this place called Trump Burgers. It's like 2 hours from here, I think.
Are they Republican patties?
It's just Trump stuff everywhere. It's like a lot of Trump merch and I think they stamp like Trump on the burger or something like that.
That's pretty tight.
You'd love it.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen.
I think that would be a funny video to go there and interact with the Trumpies.
Yeah. Did you just lump yourself into that video?
What?
Did you say us go film it?
No, I said you.
Oh, I thought you said that'd be cool for us to go film that.
I'm not going in there.
You're, I can't wait to go to Buc-ee's.
No. Trumpers, they'll
like you. You're light.
they don't like me.
No?
So
the Patagonia hat?
Yeah.
And the
for
Ray-Bans?
Sure. I had an idea for like I want to start doing more comedy videos. And I wish I would have done this one earlier, but I was a little scared to do it. I wanted to do like sort of like, I don't know what you call this, like skits or like pranks or I don't know what it is, but I wanted to go and have a sign that says don't vote instead of trying to get people to vote because there's so much pressuring people to vote online and stuff. But I wanted to like I thought maybe go to UT or something like that and set up a booth like
don't vote.
Unregistering people to vote.
That's hilarious.
And have them like sign, like fill out here to unregister. The government's trying to waste your time.
Yeah.
Don't vote.
I think that's hilarious.
People would have got pissed, right?
It would have been a good video.
I think it would have, yeah.
If it scares you, you got to do it.
Yeah, I should have done it.
Yeah.
I could still do it.
Yeah, you'll catch them 2 years.
And my other video idea was to go, this would be better in like near the coast, maybe like San Diego or something. Advertising for whaling tours. You know what whaling is?
Yeah. Like actually going out and like seeing whales?
No, but whaling, so that would be like a whale tour, but the word whaling means like fishing for whales. So like telling people in a serious manner, like we'll take you out, you can like pictures of like people like posing, like kind of like those safaris, hunts, but like a big whale, or like you can get a dolphin if you want, like we'll be able to hunt whatever you want just as a joke.
That would be hilarious,
see people's reaction.
dude. That would be hilarious.
Just right out there, get you a humpback or a orca.
I feel like with your demeanor, like your dry humor, you could really sell that to people and they would think you're serious.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
People are stupid. I love it. Anything else you wanted to say or anything else we should have talked about or I should have asked you?
Nico Jordan, thank you for having me on the podcast. I had a great time. You're a great podcast host. This is a great format. And people should like, comment, and subscribe on Nico's podcast.
You're an even better host.
No.
And if you like this podcast, go check out 7 Minutes in Evan.
No. I mean, do it, but don't. No, you're too kind. This has been awesome.
And what else?
Thank
Anything
you.
else you want to promote? The podcast? Instagram?
Instagram, I am Evan Lopez. YouTube channel, Evan Lopez. Instagram's been playing with me. I've gotten so many just from posting like clips, violations, that
Really?
now I'm not really reaching that many people on Instagram anymore. Like
Just
statistically,
stealing people's stuff,
no, where I guess
like unintentionally. I mean,
I guess I've posted too much stuff about like the clip with Maddie where we talked about marijuana.
really?
Got flagged for drugs and violation. I had another violence one because a skit had something about kill in it. And then there was a skit with Spencer Cavins that we it was like a Dare commercial that got flagged. So like my engagement,
Really?
yeah, I'm down like 90% of the accounts. I don't reach them anymore.
That's crazy.
So like only like 10% of the people who follow me see my stuff.
None of my stuff has gotten flagged, I don't think.
Really?
Which is,
That's
I haven't
good.
even thought. I mean, on TikTok it all gets flagged, but
Yeah.
uh,
But it's all good. I'm just living my life, you know.
hell yeah. Well, yeah, dude, you're great at producing stuff. You're always doing some of the funniest stuff. Everyone go check it out.
Thanks, mate.
Was there something else I was just gonna say? Oh, are you a big marijuana guy?
Not so much anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
We've just been sitting by the dock, you know, for the last
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Should we close out with anything, or should
What do you want to close
I
out
always
with?
feel weird ending? I mean,
Let's
I feel like
touch
you promoted.
tips.
Yeah, we could do that.
Thank you very much, Nico. I had a blast.
I don't think anyone will see this with the cameras.
Just know we just touched tips.